this streamed live on Facebook, YouTube, or both, or what?
This is live. We are currently live on Facebook, my friend.
Awesome.
It will go on YouTube tomorrow. Hello, viewers. I'm Jess the Ska Kid.
Chelsea.
Beer guy.
It's me, Kid Points.
And we are on the phone tonight with Greg from Scarlet Curve. Hi.
Hello. We've also got Paul here from Scarlet Curve as well.
Hi, Paul.
Hey, Jeff. Hi, guys.
Now, first question. Are you ready?
We're ready.
Great. So the first question I have, are you guys just a three-piece?
No, we're actually a four-piece. Two of our members are absent tonight. Mike, our front man, I believe he's teaching dogs or something like that in Appleton tonight.
Yay, dogs.
Yeah, he does a lot of stuff with dog training. And then our other guitarist, Joel, should be here at some point soon. He just had to get his kids to bed and all that stuff. But, there's a total of four of us in the band.
All right. So we've got Mike, who's the front man, who's training dogs. We have Greg. You play what?
I play drums. I do backup vocals, and just for the hell of it, I also play a little bit of harmonica.
Oh, cool. And then we have Paul, you said?
Yep.
Who is now...
Yeah, and I'm here with you. I play bass, and I'm the techie. I do the sound and set our lights up.
Okay. And Joel, you said, right, too?
Yep, Joel is our lead guitarist. He is the eternally late one. So
That's
in
me.
the early days of the band, we joked that we were going to call ourselves Waiting for Joel.
Oh, cute. But then you'd have to be like some sort of emo band because it's like an incomplete sentence or hardcore.
Yeah.
So all of your stuff, after researching you folks and the things that Mike had sent, said you're Central Wisconsin. So I looked on Facebook, and on your Facebook page it says Stevens Point. So is that where you are located?
That's where Paul and I live, and since I'm the drummer and I've got the most craft, we practice at my house.
Okay.
So that's basically our hub. Mike and Joel both live about a half hour away from Stevens Point in different directions.
Okay. So then how long has Scarlet Curve been in existence? When did you all form?
Well, the band itself formed actually in late 2008. At that time, it was Mike just playing rhythm guitar. He was not doing lead vocals at that time. I was on drums, and then Joel was playing lead guitar at that time. And then we had a dedicated lead singer, and then had a different bass player. And then throughout the years, we've had different players come and go, for different reasons. Some that we had musical differences. Some they, decided to leave the band on good terms to go raise families and things like that. But yeah, we've been rocking and rolling for almost a decade now.
Cool.
It's weird to think of that.
Yeah, it's weird to say that 2008 was a decade ago.
I know.
I know. I don't feel like the 2000s are kind of a weird sort of time frame because I don't feel that old, and like 2000 to me was like not that long
Because
ago.
most of us don't remember.
I know.
But the majority of you are still founding members who are still working together and producing music.
That is correct.
Okay. So we got a few of your songs. I think we have a total now of 4 to play. Do you have other social media outlets? So if people wanted to find you after listening to this tonight, how would someone go about finding you and listening to your music?
Well, the bulk of our stuff at the moment is done through Facebook, and then we also have that link to our Reverb Nation page. Mm-hmm. So there's a link through that, and then those are the two main ones that we use at the moment. We're currently in the process, of self-recording our songs, with Paul's studio, and then we're in the process of trying to get those uploaded to the various other streaming sites like Spotify, and we want to get them up on iTunes at some point. So we're we're always going to be on Facebook. That's the easiest way to find us, but we keep expanding out.
And if they were going to find you on Facebook, it's just Scarlet Curve, correct?
Yeah, just facebook.com/Scarlet Curve.
All right. So albums, how many albums do you have? If you've been around since 2008.
Well, unfortunately, since we've had a number of different personnel changes over that decade, we actually have yet to officially release an album.
Okay.
So we're probably the longest running band without a debut album to our name.
There's a few other bands
Ain't
we
nothing
know
wrong
that,
with that.
have that same sort of issue, I would say. So then, how did you pick the name Scarlet Curve? Why that?
Honestly, it's not that great of a story. I mean, we had been playing together for a few months, and we were sitting around at practice one day, and we decided, okay, we really need to think of a band name. So we just throwing out ideas, and then one of us would hop on Google and see, okay, is this band name taken? Yes, it is. Damn it. Okay, how about this one? Damn, we didn't think of that one first either. The one that we liked the best was The Curve. Just Mike thought of, how about The Curve, something like that. And I think there was a band from Florida that had that. So we said, okay, what about, just let's throw something else in there. And somebody said Scarlet. So we searched around Scarlet Curve, couldn't find any hits for it, and that's how it stuck.
So this leads me then to another question. Who then, as a band, writes a majority of your music? Is it a collaborative type of thing? Do you each just kind of bring something and mess around until you have a song? Or is there a predominant, hey, this is what I have and this is what we're going with?
Method to the madness.
Well, for the most part, Mike is the one who writes the lyrics, and even when we had a dedicated lead singer, Mike was still the one writing the lyrics. And then most of the time, he's also the one that at least comes up with the rough melody and chords for the song. And then when he brings them to practice, everyone else puts in their pieces. We're working a little bit with others writing things like that, but for the most part, it's been Mike that has written songs. And he's been in a few other different bands, and in the past, and he has rights to some of those other songs from his other bands. So we've used a few of those as well from bands he was in the 90s.
Are you guys in other bands now, or are all of you primarily focused on Scarlet Curve?
Right now, I think all of us have always just been in Scarlet Curve as it has been. I can't recall anyone else having other side projects except for one of our former bass players was also doing an acoustic duo with a friend of his at the same time, so they would actually open for us during shows here and there.
What type or
You
what?
paid twice.
Get paid twice.
Double dipping.
What was that?
Kip said, "Get paid twice."
Yeah, exactly.
Do you guys have copyrights to your music?
I don't think we've officially filed them and stuff like that, but I think we have enough fair use copyright where if anyone did want to steal it, I'm sure we'd make a good case, but I don't think we've gone through all the legal stuff. I mean, we just like creating music.
Now, when you talked about these recordings and stuff, and that you're doing it at Paul's studio, are you guys a do-it-yourself type of band? Is that the goal, to record, independently and release it yourselves, or do you think that at some point you'll go through, say, a sound guy and record stuff?
Well, we have recorded in studios in the past, with varying levels of success, but I think with the setup we have now, that's our ideal situation, because not only is it free, but it's a lot easier to schedule that way, and we kind of do pride ourselves on being, as do-it-yourself as possible. But there hopefully will come a point where we will be playing out enough, or get to the point where we need a dedicated sound person and things like that. I mean, our goal is to get, our music out to as many people as possible. So, there hopefully will come a time where that will be needed and we have to bring in someone besides just the four of us to do something.
Do you guys have quite a following up there in central Wisconsin? What's the music scene like up that way?
I think we have an okay following at the moment, but it can always be better. Around this area, there is a large amount of cover bands, which they have their place as well. But there isn't a whole lot of bands around here that do original music like we do. In Stevens Point and in Wausau, which is a little bit farther north than us, there's a lot of heavy metal and punk bands, but they have their own very niche scenes, and then we try to insert ourselves into there to be able to try to play to broader audiences and things like that.
So what kind of genre would you say that you folks are?
It's obviously a real general term, but we just basically call ourselves alternative rock. I mean, we seem to fit a lot with the alternative rock that was in the early to mid 90s, I would say.
I would 100% agree with you. But when we heard that, I was like, we're listening to like Goo Goo Dolls or Buck Cherry or something from the 90s, Q101 and late night at like 11 o'clock or something like. Yeah.
No, that's not good anymore.
Have you guys branched out and thought, of extending your reach or trying to make connections down and say like the Milwaukee area or Madison, because they do have, bands that would fit your genre, or even like say farther south or southwest, like Lake Geneva or Janesville, Prairie du Chien, those sorts of places.
Or La Crosse, really. That's a big party town.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, La Crosse is great. We're trying to break into La Crosse as well. There's a couple of different clubs that we've been trying to get in there. But with branching out, we do have a band that we've done a few shows with already from Brookfield called Love Lies Bleeding. Mm-hmm. We've done a few shows with them in this area, and we have played a few places in southeastern Wisconsin. We did a benefit for an African water wells charity in Milwaukee. I think it was in 2010. Last year we played at a benefit gig called Thoughts for Food in Racine, which we're doing again this year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's March 3rd, and we're playing at McAuliffe's on the Square.
Yep, we know them.
Okay, Thoughts for Food, it was a lot of fun last year, and I'm hoping it's just as fun, if not more fun, this year. With a whole bunch of different bands and a whole bunch of different venues all playing for a great cause like that. I mean, that's a lot of fun to do.
Well, I was going to say the benefit of meeting us, not to toot our own horn, but like because you all are going to be in the Racine area,
which is like 10 minutes from here.
Yeah, you're. I would suggest reaching out to bands like the Union League or Kenosha's The First Rule, because they would fit into the type of music. Mm-hmm. Like if I were ever to bring you here, those were the bands that I would say, or like Two Ball Screwball.
That would mesh well.
Right. So you can also, since you're into playing music festivals and you're looking to extend your reach, there is a person named Michael on my friends list, and I can connect you after if you'd like. Shout out to all of these people. But he does Midwest Original Music Fest, and he's also tied into Summerfest. So he's.
We actually did play the Midwest Original Music Festival last year.
Cool. Yeah. Good.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun as well. We were really excited about playing that one for a festival just dedicated to original music. I mean, that's the kind of stuff we strive for. So we were really happy to play that, and we're hoping we can make it work again this year as well.
Great. Hey, Greg, you want to help us give a shout out to our friend Justin, who's watching at work?
Hey, Justin.
Hey.
Getting you paid to listen to us. That must be awesome.
I think it's probably a sneak thing.
We drank beers this time for you.
I
didn't.
So your image, your logo, who made that? And do you guys do your own art for the band?
The logo that we used it was actually, it was commissioned by one of our original lead singers that we had for a couple of years. I honestly don't remember who he had gone through to get the logo design for us, but you know he had spearheaded that at that time, and we really liked how it turned out. So we've been using it.
And he lets you keep it. That's great.
Yeah, it was great that he let you keep it, Mike said.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me started about fights about band logos. Oh my god.
There we go.
Do you?
As far as artwork goes, you know, our Paul, our bass player, you know, does a lot of the laying out and designing and things like that. And then when possible, my wife also does a lot of graphic design stuff and big photo touch-ups for us because she used to work as a graphic designer, so she has that skill set that I'm thankfully easily able to tap into.
Isn't it great when you like are with an artist and you can be like, "Hey, I need you to do this, please."
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So how about merch? Do you folks have merch?
Yeah, we were able to get it in time for Mom Fest last year. We've got T-shirts with our awesome logo on it, as well as a couple of different size stickers. We did some posters, and then Joel, who has joined us, by the way.
Hi, Joel.
We didn't have to wait for him that long. Hello. Hey there. Joel was just visiting family in Mexico and was able to commission a bunch of guitar picks with our logo and his signature on them.
Ooh, that's fancy.
Yeah, it is real. I'm just looking at them for the first time right now, and they are awesome looking.
Cool.
We're still waiting on them to actually be produced, but I've got the prototype here, and God, it looks awesome.
That's great. Will there be pictures up on Facebook later?
Oh, definitely. I could have Joel work on that now, and we'll get it posted to our page as well.
Yeah.
That's too cool not to share.
And when they get made, if you want to send some down this way, you have 2 players, so...
Hey, Joel, when you take the picture, try not to get so many beer cans in there, okay?
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
What beer cans? What are you talking about?
What kind of beer you guys drinking?
Yeah, really.
It's a weeknight, so Joel's on Bud Light. He doesn't break up the good stuff until the weekend or when we play gigs.
What's the good stuff?
I'm not partial to beer myself, so I'm actually drinking a screwdriver at the moment.
All right, that's acceptable. But Chelsea asks, what's the good stuff, Mr. Weekend Connoisseur?
Well, what is the good stuff? The good beer that you break out on the weekend? Like this cheap crap.
This is watered down beer. Well, I drink what Paul suggests usually. Paul is like
the left-hand milk stout. How about that?
yeah,
Oh,
the dark stuff.
The dark stuff.
I can't do stouts.
Nope.
We're drinking PBR. That's like our tried and true, you know. I guess it's a Wisconsin thing.
And as soon as he starts sponsoring us, it'll be even better.
Oh my god.
Just the Ska Kid with little ribbons on it.
I see this more.
I saw the other videos and I see you guys on the live feed now, so I made it a point that, yeah, we should have some alcohol while we do the interview. Why not?
Yeah, right.
You
It
should.
helps. What else? Oh, Mike asked, what's Mom Fest? What was that? Talk about that.
That's the Midwest Original Music Festival.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, acronym. We're not that smart.
Yeah, when we first heard about it, it was just called Mom Fest, and we're like, what is this? Is
That
this
sounds awesome already.
gather around? Sure, I'll play that.
That's horrible.
Scantily clad man.
Wouldn't that just be
I was
called
looking
No
online,
Fest?
on Facebook, and I went to the wrong side of the wrong link, and I called these guys, and I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm like, there's no way of playing that. We're talking about. Yeah, there was a different Mom Fest happening that same weekend in Canada.
It's a northern thing.
I'm in for both of them.
Mike's
Just
like,
saying.
I'll go with both. What about upcoming? What upcoming shows do you guys have?
We've actually got a busy couple months ahead of us. Like I said, we're playing Thoughts for Food at McCullough's on the square in Racine on March 3rd. A couple weeks after that, we're playing at the Brat Stop in Kenosha for Shrimp Fest.
You're playing
Oh,
Shrimp
you're
Fest?
Shrimp Fest.
Yep, we're playing Shrimp Fest.
Wow, that's cool.
Then the day after that, we get to basically go on a mini tour and go to Baraboo for a Battle of the Bands. That's at, I think it's at the North End Pub in Baraboo.
Mhm.
I have to double check that, but
That's on Highway
that is
12.
that's a Battle of the Bands, and the finalist for that gets to open up for the Gin Blossoms at Bratfest Memorial Day weekend.
You get to open for the Gin Blossoms?
If they win.
Well, just the final, or just the winner of the battle is done. So we've got to win 2 rounds of Battle of the Bands to do that, but we're really excited about just the possibility of doing that.
Do you guys just have to play and win based on votes who's there, or do you have to do more to pump your band so that there's more of an internet presence too?
Oh, we're definitely going to do both. We'll put on the best show weekend there, and then there's actually 4 different semifinals, and then the finalists from all of those play at or the winner from all those play at a finalist round the first weekend in May.
Cool. You do have a busy couple of months. So where is that?
Yeah.
Where, if you win, where is that Gin Blossom show?
Yeah.
I believe it's in Wisconsin Dells.
Where did you hear about all these music fests, and who does your booking? Like when you go to put shows together, who does that, and how do you reach out to these people?
Mike does most of the booking because for his day job he's a sales guy, so he's really good at schmoozing and BSing when he needs to.
Yeah.
So and he's since he was in those other bands as well, he has a long a long history of experience with doing that kind of stuff. So he'll look for these festivals and he'll talk with club owners. But a few of us have relationships with other bar owners as well. A friend of mine owns a bar in Clintonville, Wisconsin, which I'm sure you've never heard of.
Oh, I have heard of that. I work for Job Corps.
Really?
I have kids all over the fucking state. Yes.
My grandparents lived there for a long time. I love Clintonville.
We're knowledgeable about your area.
Fire trucks.
Oh, Jesus.
They make
Yeah.
fire
I
trucks.
know they do.
You weren't expecting us to be that prepared, huh, Greg?
By Clinton.
We're all
I caught it.
we're
I've
all
never even
from
been to Clintonville.
Wisconsin.
I know where it is. I've just never been there before.
It's really
But
nice.
we're playing in a bar in Clintonville in April as well. So we've got 3 shows in March and then at least 1 so far in April. So we have a lot of shows booked in a short period of time, which is really nice actually.
So what do the rest of you all do for your day jobs? When Mike isn't selling things and training dogs, what do you guys do?
Well, Joel is as scary as it is, Joel is in charge of safety at a manufacturing facility.
What's the worst that can happen?
He's drinking Bud Light. We're all safe tonight.
Yeah, it's water.
Yeah, that's safe, right? And Paul, I honestly still don't know exactly what you do. I know you work long hours and you have to go in early in the morning, but I don't know exactly what your job is.
I'm a machine operator at a local factory.
Okay, very neat.
And then I've got the most boring job of all of us. I work in IT at a bank.
Cool. Hey,
Probably make the most money.
so what led you?
Maybe, I don't know. But
How did
it was
you?
funny when the band started. Mike and Joel and I and our singer at that time, when the band first started, we all worked for the same insurance company. And then one of my coworkers at the time knew that I was a drummer, and I wasn't playing at all. And he talked to Mike, and he told Mike that I was a drummer. So that's how I auditioned for the group. And then the first practice, I show up and Mike says, "Oh, you work in IT, right? Well, you're Gigabyte." He just gave me the nickname Gigabyte because it's the only techie word that he knows at all. That's what he used. And 10 years later, he still calls me that. I'm not sure if he actually knows my real name is Greg or not.
Wow. Well, it starts with a G, so I mean.
Same.
You know.
Same,
We
same.
could just go back.
It
to
sounds like he
People?
watched Hackers too many times.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that led me to my. I mean, you kind of answered that how you all met, and you know, what. How did you get into music? Are you guys like trained? Did you grow up playing instruments, or did you develop a sense of wanting to play an instrument on your own and taught yourselves?
I think I'll let Paul talk for a bit first here and give his answer.
He's got to go make
I've
another
been doing
drink.
the interview. So,
Well,
You
for
don't have to do
myself,
that
I
here.
started playing guitar when I was 10 years old. And I've been playing in bands since I was probably 15 years old. It's mostly been cover bands until the last 5 years. Now I started working with some original music.
Okay.
How about you, Joel?
Well, I started playing guitar in Mexico actually when I was like 14, 15 years old. I started playing classical music. The good stuff, classical. I went to a little class that lasted like 6 months, but I wanted to play Metallica, and these guys are like, no, you're not. You're going to play Mozart and these other things, you know. Then after that, I just went on my own and learned how to read notes and just started. Actually, I lived in Mexico as a kid, so I started playing in a bunch of different bands in Mexico. Once I immigrated to the U.S., then I found people to play in basements for a while until I thought, hey, I should probably find a real band and start playing out there. And it's been pretty much on my own, you know. I just took a little lesson on classical music, and pretty much from there, I'm just learning new techniques and different styles of my own. Play a little drums, a little keyboard, a little bass guitar, play a little bit, you know, wherever I can. So that's how it pretty much started, and it was just for fun, just something to do. Like a long guy here, I guess.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Oh, please do that.
Yeah?
Yes.
How the hell did you immigrate from Mexico to the middle of fucking Wisconsin, my friend?
Yes.
And why would you pick there? What said I need to go play with cows here?
That is my first thought.
Wait, well, actually, I just wanted to see snow. I never seen snow before. And I have some family here. And I'm like, I'm going to go skiing, and, it gets to 20 below? No fucking way.
And then 25 years later, he still hasn't gotten his car on the snow pit, right?
So, I'm still visiting. Still visiting, yeah, just happened to go here, and then I met a girl, and I got married, and,
Yeah, life.
everything rolled downhill from there.
Wow. So
Yeah, and then I got into EMS. I'm actually an EMT, something that this guy didn't tell you. I do all kinds of different things. I'm a volunteer firefighter, EMT, safety guy. I'm a bilingual interpreter for a company here in town. I do all kinds of things.
Jesus Christ.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
Nothing too. It's not fun. You do a lot of different things.
So we get to call you then and use you as an interpreter for our bands from like Spain and Mexico, right?
That's right.
Because this does have international reach. Like we have people in Russia and the Ukraine and Europe and Portugal and India that watch us.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
Do you have anybody in Spain or Mexico or South America?
You
yeah,
said Mexico.
Oh, you have the readers. Oh, then I'll do the ball line.
Whereabouts in Mexico?
Yeah.
Monterrey, Mexico.
Where?
Mexico in the house,
Monterrey,
too.
like north of Mexico.
Yes.
I was just there last week actually.
Yeah, they don't have snow there, huh?
Yeah, he was there 2 days extra because he got the flu, and they wouldn't let him on the plane.
Yeah, I was really bad. So, 30 kids in the States in Mexico, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That shit's vicious, man. That's going
Yeah,
around.
we've kind of been dealing with that up here too. Just up here, down here.
Down here.
Sorry.
They're up farther than us at this point.
Hey,
We're used to being north of everybody.
Yeah, you're one of our first northern bands. I mean,
Yeah, it sounds like you guys normally don't go in the southeast, so yeah, that's good to reach out and that's awesome.
So, how did you all come to hear about us?
We heard about you from Mike, who is not here. I'm honestly not. I don't know exactly how he had found out about you in the first place. He just said one day, "Hey, we've got an interview with this Jess the Ska." I'm like, "Okay."
Do you guys have any?
He does that sometimes. He'll get something booked and say, "Okay, we're doing this on this date," and we're like, "Oh, okay."
And then he ditches and makes you guys do it. Hey guys, we got a show. Oh wait, never mind. Peace out. You guys got it, right?
Okay, thanks, bye.
Yeah, okay, thanks. bye.
Dogs.
Do you guys have you done any other radio spots or podcasts or anything else?
We did do a couple of old-fashioned radio stuff a couple years ago in Merrill, which is about an hour north of us. There is a station who has unfortunately since changed format, but they had their homegrown show on Wednesdays where they would showcase local talent, and we would go up there and do a live interview on the radio, and they'd play a few songs. We did that, I think, 2 or 3 times. The real fun part about that was that, on the hour they let us read the weather as well, so we had
What?
I would have read it wrong.
Yeah, no,
Read it wrong? It's sunny.
we had it our own place, don't worry about that.
You could be like a real weather guy.
What is it like
Shit's
up by
always
you?
wrong.
Well, Stevens Point feels kind of small, but I've lived here for a long time, so it kind of feels like home. I don't know.
No, what's the weather? What's
Yeah,
the
weather.
weather, Greg?
we know what the town is like.
College town.
It got above freezing today for the second day in a row, so that was good. A lot of the snow and ice has melted, but we're supposed to get more. It's supposed to drop below 0 or below freezing again.
Basically the same as here then.
Yeah, so same.
Mother Nature just keeps playing tricks on us, and
Oh, fickle bitch.
Yeah, us
So-
too.
Playing
Gives
tricks
us
with
bad weather
in
again.
Wisconsin.
Is this your first Shrimp Fest?
Yes, yeah. This year will be the first time we're playing Shrimp Fest.
Are you guys gonna stay over? Are you going to go back home? And what day are you gonna play? Because that's like a 2 or 3 day music fest.
We're playing on Saturday, and then we have that Battle of the Bands gig the next day in Baraboo.
So you're just
So-
leaving.
Yeah, we're either going to stay in Kenosha or drive to Baraboo and then stay there.
Are you gonna go visit the Circus Museum while you're in Baraboo?
Ugh.
The Circus Museum.
I'm not sure. Probably not.
You should not.
Why?
Because it's boring.
Well, Alvarez
It's exploitative.
sleeps really late all the time, and I'm not sure he'll even be awake for
Adults can
the
consent
2
to
p.m. start of
Oh,
the
God, we're not doing
the
that.
battle. So
The plants
I don't know if we'll have time to go to the Circus Museum.
What was that?
Sorry, we're having a moment here.
We're talking about the Circus Museum. Chelsea says it's exploitative, and I said, so is porn, and she said adults can consent, and I said plants can't. Chelsea likes to kill her oxygen. She only eats plants.
We have to be PC around her sometimes.
Oh God.
We love Chelsea. While you're in Kenosha, even though you're going to be at the Brat stop, we might suggest that you go down the road on 60th and 22nd and check out Bourbon Legends.
Also visit my bakery.
Chelsea works at Paeli's. I mean, it's all like on the same stretch. But Bourbon Legends is a local pub and eatery, and the owners also own a venue here in town.
Oh, great.
Just so that you know, but they're running a promotion, because I gotta pump that. They're doing a Battle of the Band burger run, and it's to raise money for Meals on Wheels. So $1 of every purchase of these burgers goes to that local organization to make sure that elderly or folks who are infirm that can't get out have somebody come bring them food and take care of them. But
Oh, that's great.
right now, 2 local bands are facing off called Rude Rooster, another band you might want to check out that you'd probably want to play with. I
Yeah.
think they're also playing Shrimp Fest.
She should.
Oh, awesome.
And then Siren of Sorrow. I think they might also be playing Shrimp Fest. And those two burgers are competing right now to see who will win and move to the next round. So.
And if you make it down for a burger, you better get a hold of us so we can come.
Yeah,
hang
let
out.
us. Yeah, we could.
I mean, you're gonna be in town, so you better get a hold of us.
Or we could go.
Right, we could go.
Just a
Do you
thought.
guys have?
Now,
The handboy guy.
is there still time to get into that Battle of the Bands? Because as Mike said, we'll play anywhere that has electricity.
Ha! So that
We have a basement.
yeah. I invited y'all down to play, and Mike was like, "We can't drive for just a basement show," but
Because he's too busy with dogs.
but the people who own Bourbon Legends, I'll put you in
Sorry.
contact with them if you want to
I'm
do a
not.
show down here. We can put something together.
Oh, definitely.
There's a lot of stuff. I mean, like
Well, you're already down here with your gear, so.
Dropping Daisies would be another band you'd want to check out.
Yeah.
Dropping Daisies?
Yeah, so these are all original bands that fit in with your genre of music. So, yay! Mike has connected you with appropriate people to make sure that you continue to grow.
Social networking is fun.
Hooray.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys have questions for them? Since
I'm kind of interested to hear if you play any covers at all, and if so, what are they?
We currently don't play any covers right now. We
That's
have done
fantastic
a
to
couple
hear.
in the past.
I was waiting for that.
There's a band that used to be, or a former band from, I think they were the Milwaukee area called the Lonely Ninjas. Have you guys heard of them?
I've
No.
not heard of them. Have you?
Okay, I guess they do. They primarily do or did basically joke, just funny songs. But they wrote one serious song called "Pretty Girl" that they just never played, and they gave us permission to play it. Back when we had our lead singer named Tim, who was no longer with the group, so we did used to do that. And then there was one show just for the hell of it that we played "Your Love" by the Outfield, just because we were screwing around with it and we wanted to just dick around and have fun with that one. But other than those two, I don't believe we've ever played any covers.
Actually, Jim and I did the Stone Temple Pilots like acoustic a couple of times.
Oh, that's right. It was Plush. Right?
Plus,
Yeah.
Flush.
That was just Tim and I doing Flush because I'm a big fan, and why not?
So let's
Because
talk
you guys
about
have to go
that.
all pee-pee.
Who are your influences, you guys?
Yeah, that was really where that conversation was going. I was curious where the influence comes from.
Thank you, Mike.
Well, I know Joel really likes Metallica, and he will bow down in front of Yngwie Malmsteen any chance he gets.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm into all kinds of stuff. Really, I mean, I do listen to some Mexican music just to, get different ideas, like some rock, Mexican rock once in a while. I like classical music, I listen to Shannon Pavarotti and things like that.
And there ain't nothing wrong with that.
I like a Avenged Sevenfold, and then I've been listening to Slayer, and I like old dance, like Death from like the 80s,
Yeah.
And,
Good, all good.
Wait, which
Death
death?
metal, speed metal.
Yes.
Yeah,
And then
there's
I've been
two.
listening to, like pop music once in a while. Why not? I've been playing Michael Jackson.
There's a purple and a
What
metal.
about you, Paul?
No.
What do you call your major influences?
Really, like my number one band when I was growing up, and I'm really dating myself here, but REO Speedwagon was like
Okay.
my big band, and then I got into a lot of the 80s hair band.
Yeah? You'd love our neighbor.
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
There's nothing
my-
wrong with the little 80s.
Since I'm the drummer, I've got to say that my biggest influence is Neil Peart, because ask 100 drummers who their favorite drummer is, 95 of them will say Neil Peart. I grew up playing a lot of classic rock. When I was in school, I was in the pep band and marching band, and we played a lot of that kind of stuff. That's where I got my start, playing rock beats and playing a drum set.
So Neil Peart over John Bonham?
Oh, that's
I know, loaded question, right?
Neil Peart is a
well. I would say Peart over Bonham, just because Bonham died so early. If John Bonham had lived past 1980, it probably would go Bonham for number one.
Okay, fair enough.
Because of Peart's career, I would say
Fair enough.
Neil Peart.
So, have you ever heard of ska music?
Let it be.
They're from
That's not the Beatles.
that
Yeah.
area.
I have heard of ska music, and I have heard of both iterations of it, like the newer instance of it, and the classical instance of ska, which most people don't call ska
Can you
anymore.
name a band from each?
Say again.
Can you name a band from each that you've heard?
I can't name a band from the older, from the true tradition of ska, but
I totally would have Googled that shit real quick.
the more current version that that comes to mind would be obviously Real Big Fish.
Everybody fucking says that band! Ah!
Leave it
Sorry. Sorry.
Blame Trey Parker and Matt Stone in the movie Basketball.
Yes, that would be. I'm sorry.
Wait, were they in that?
Yes,
Yeah,
Real
they
Big
were.
Fish is in that band, or in that movie.
They were in a lot of things.
And that movie was set in Milwaukee.
Yes, yep.
Oh
The
yeah.
Milwaukee Bears.
But traditional ska, Toots and the Maytals, Jimmy Cliff, Prince Buster. So you can go ahead and
Educate
research.
yourself.
Google it. It's fun. I'm more into first and second wave, which is like the specials and madness.
And this is where Napoleon will edit and throw in a list of bands.
Of bad, yeah. Our editor watches the show and then edits it. So once this is done, and we finish tonight with you folks, and we end our interview, that will be up on YouTube, Jess the Ska Kid. So then you can thieve that video and use it on your social media. And then the second part of this will be us playing your music, and other random
Randomness.
ridiculous. And that will be on YouTube after we're done as well. So
Tomorrow, definitely, you will see these on YouTube, and feel free to share them around everywhere. Whore it up. Slut it up, because whores get paid, apparently. We've just had this discussion
we
recently.
done get paid. We're a whore now.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
Oh, we're graduated.
Scratch that, reverse it.
Strike it, reverse it. Willy Wonka. Sorry.
Do you guys get paid to do, like, when you go and you play a show, do you all get paid, and do you have, like, a band fund?
Most shows we do get paid for, but we always reinvest that money back into the band, to buy merchandise, to pay for, gas, hotel rooms, and stuff like that. So, yeah, we technically get paid, quote unquote, but the money doesn't actually even go into our pockets. We keep reinvesting it back into the band so we can do better and more awesome things.
Who would you guys... Oh, go on.
No, he said just to keep the ball rolling.
Right. Who would you guys like to play with if you could?
The Gin Blossoms.
Shameless plug.
Or no,
Plug
that,
the
yeah.
shit out of that.
I mean, we're not the right genre for it because we're not nearly as heavy enough. But my dream would be to open for the Foo Fighters because I
Interesting.
absolutely love them. I drove 8.5 hours to see them in Cincinnati last fall.
Nice.
Because that's where I could get tickets.
I'm a
The
fan.
Madison got sold out too damn quickly.
Wow. What is the nearest, largest music venue? Like down here we have the Rave, or if we go to Chicago,
Yeah.
there's a smattering of things. And there's a few other, like, Club Gibaldi, I think is how you pronounce it.
They
In
have the
Milwaukee?
casino up in the Dells by them, kind of.
But yeah, what's by you that's bigger? That, like, people go and play at?
I'm not sure. I mean, in Stevens Point, right downtown, there used to be a music venue
It was an Opry Hall.
live on Main,
Did you just call
but they closed down because they couldn't keep the business running. But they used to bring in
it's Opry.
regional
That's
and
how it's
national acts, and then have local bands open up for them. But they closed down. Other than that, I mean, there's the Q&Z Expo Center in the Wausau area. They bring in pretty decent sized acts as well. But we haven't had a chance to get in there, unfortunately.
Okay.
And we're
How near
we're in
is
a crappy area for that kind of stuff. We have to drive a long ways to see a decent sized arena.
how near is Stevens Point to Green Bay? Because they have a big venue right up there.
We're, I think, about an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, about 2 hours.
Oh, so you're equidistant from us to being to Green Bay. All right.
Yeah, they're just more west.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not good with central Wisconsin geography. Forgive me.
Have you guys played, speaking of going west, in, say, Minneapolis?
Come on.
No, we have yet to play outside of the state of Wisconsin.
Ah.
I have played in that area, not with you guys, but I have.
Yeah.
He's like,
I have, excuse.
go
I
on,
hope you
brush your
said that with a
shoulders off.
pinky finger up.
I'm in Mexico, though, you know.
He's like, I'm
He's
international.
national.
Yeah.
I play, yeah, I have, you know, Minnesota, Mexico.
Careful, the government might be listening.
So, again, just to recap for those that are just tuning in, thanks, listeners. We are talking to Scarlet Curve, 3 of the 4 members.
Hashtag red turn.
Yes, that's a new thing. You're going to have to adopt that. Scarlet Curve, aka Red Turn.
I'll take payment in advance.
Yeah.
And
Copywritten.
again, as Greg, Paul, and Joel, and Mike, unfortunately, who couldn't join us tonight, have said, you can find them on Facebook.com/Scarlet Curve. What else would you like to tell our viewers before we go with you folks?
Well, keep following us on Facebook. Like us, follow posts, all that good stuff. We're playing around as much as we can, but we're always looking for new places to play. We got a message from a fan just this week saying, "Hey, you guys should come and play lacrosse." So
Cool.
we'll, like Mike said, we'll play anywhere that has electricity. Last year for a 4th of July parade, we played on the back of a semi trailer.
That's
We just
fucking
hooked up a
sweet.
generator and
Sounds like
blasted it and played it down Main Street in Oklahoma. It was
Well-
awesome.
Well, we extend the same offer, so if you start networking with other bands around the place, make sure that you let them know that this is always an available option to them as well.
And we're looking forward to an actual album.
We are too.
Are we all in
Working on that.
agreement? Say aye.
Aye.
Robert's rules. Well, thank you very much.
Hey.
Does anybody else of the crew have questions for these folk?
No, I think they answered
They've
most
all
of them.
been asked and answered.
Well, thank you very much, Scarlet Curve. We're going to let you go. We're going to take a brief break, and then we're going to get back on to play your music.
All right. Thanks for having us, Jess, and we'd love to come back again sometime.
Awesome. Let me know.
You'll be in Kenosha. Come play the show.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, bye.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, bye.
Bye.
That was Scarlet Curve.
That was interesting.
Stay tuned.
Fun to talk to.
Stay tuned.
Yes. Set 2. Okay, thanks, bye.